Of course, I did it again, y'all. Of course, I did it again. Started my video, was getting on a roll. Thank God I wasn't too far in this time, though. Was getting on a roll, talking about my hair and deodorant on my shirt. And I accidentally, when the page was about to, go dark, hit the mouse pad too heavy, and then it X'd out. So we're not going to keep the first one. This is going to be the first one. So even though this is my second take, hi guys, welcome Truth Tribe. And if you haven't subscribed yet and have not become a part of the Truth Tribe yet, what are you waiting for? Just push the goddamn button. It's free. You already like watching me. You're looking at me now. I mean, unless you hit it by accident. And if you hit it by accident, pause. Take your time. You might need to watch this video. I'm just saying. Because things might happen by accident, but was it really an accident or was it accidentally on purpose? So, how y'all doing today? I'm doing amazing. I'm awesome. Yo, y'all. Okay, so I said this in the other video before I X'd myself out. If my edges is getting on y'all nerves, believe me, it's getting on my nerves too. But believe it or not, I seriously tried to lay these babies down. I did. I put jam on it. I put mousse on it. I wrapped it up in my scarf. And after I washed up, this is what happened. Make sure I don't go too hard this time. But this is what happened. So as y'all can see, I didn't recurl my side of my hair because I am trying my best to make sure that I do not put too much heat on my hair or have too much heat damage from straightening my hair too much. And as y'all can see, I only have half of my hair even available to be straightened. And that's on purpose because like I said, I'm doing my best not to straighten my hair so much, not to put heat on my hair so much. But anyway, this is not a hair video, so let me get on focus, shall I? So basically, what this video is about today, what I'm going to be talking about in this video today is a video on how I learned from my bad experiences and not to let them make me feel defeated. So let me expound on that. First, let me write this down. How I learned from my bad experiences and not allow them to make me feel defeated. Okay, guys. So basically, the reason why I decided to bring this video into, my recordings is because I've realized and I've come to understand that in this society, in this world, yeah, guys, I am going to let the outside light in because even though this light does balance everything out and it doesn't have the glare, I really would like the light from outside. So give me 1 second, please. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Sorry about that. See, it's not like super brighter, but it's a little brighter. Um, but anywho, I've come to realize that it has become a normalcy for people to feel as though when they've made mistakes and they've had bad experiences and they've effed up, that it's the end of the world, or that they're the worst thing in the world, or that they'll never become better. Which all of those situations are false. Like, all of your bad experiences, all of your losses are basically the ladder and the building steps and building stones to you getting to success. Success is not on a lower level, honey. Success is on a higher level. So, therefore, in order for you to achieve this higher level of success, you have to go through these bad experiences. You have to go through these issues. You have to go through these struggles. You have to go through these traumas. Unfortunately, you have to, because you cannot get to the next level until you experience contrast, until you experience struggle, until you experience really having to work hard and really seriously put effort into working hard in whatever you're trying to really put your heart into, as opposed to just like playing it by ear and just seeing what falls into your lap. And sometimes that's exactly what happens. Something does fall into your lap, and usually it's something you don't necessarily like and don't want to fall into your lap. So that's why it's better to realize and understand, like, wait a minute, hold up. Let me think back on these bad experiences. Let me think back on these bad things. Let me think back on these times that I made these mistakes. Let me think back on these uh-ohs. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget the uh-ohs. Because the uh-ohs is what builds character. The uh-ohs is what makes you a winner. The uh-ohs is what makes you the person that you create yourself to become and be, that initially is a lot better than the person that you were before you had any issues, before you had any struggles, before you had any bad experiences. So that's why I decided to bring forth this video, because I thought, first of all, it would be very encouraging for people who go through bad experiences and feel alone and feel like nobody understands how they feel like they're by themselves, feel like, they're the only one going through something, or if they're not the only one going through something, they're the only one that's really going through something that is taking them to the realm and the level where they feel like they can't handle it and they can't take it anymore. Listen, I am one of those people who, I typically don't have anybody. I'm usually the person that people has. Reason I say that is this: like right now, the only person that I can genuinely say that I have is my boyfriend, because my family is kind of weird, and I love them, but they're kind of weird and estranged. So I don't really feel like they got my back, because I know that certain times and certain situations and circumstances have come across where they didn't have my back, where they left me hanging. So I had to figure it out on my own, and I did, and I'm proud of myself for that. So that's why I've come to realize and I've come to recognize that, wait a minute, you do not have to feel like you are a failure. You do not have to feel like you're done and there's no hope for you, just because you may have made big mistakes, just because you may have had a big uh-oh, you know. Just like if you have children, like, I always talk about children because, like, I love children, even though I don't have children myself, like, successfully. I haven't had any children myself. At the same time, I love children, and if my initial blessing that I did have of being blessed with a child was successful, which it wasn't, but if it was, I would have been a very happy mother, because no matter what circumstances or issues I might have had, having my child, it would have meant more to me, just that little human being that I know that I'm responsible for. But, like, just like with your child, you don't want them to experience the world without you, really. Like, even though as an adult, you realize and you understand, like, at some point they're going to have to figure things out on their own. At the end of the day, if you're a parent that really loves your child, you don't necessarily want them to figure it out on their own. You want to help them as much as you possibly can, because you feel like, sometimes you may needed the help and you want to give them the help that you may have not had or whatever. So you do the best that you can to, like, protect them from all of the bad and negative things, instead of realizing, like, wait a minute, protecting them from these bad negative things could actually hurt them at the end of the day, because these bad negative things that's coming in their way and becoming issues for them, they're coming in their way for a reason. They're becoming an issue for a reason, and that typical reason is so that they can grow, so that they can go through their growing pains and grow and mature, and start to think beyond their limits that their life circumstances, their lifestyle, and their family and friends have conditioned them to stick to go beyond that. And the thing is that most people don't go beyond that. Most go only as far as their naked eye takes them. So they're not going beyond their own backyard. A lot of people, they don't never see other states, other cities, other countries. They never really become adventurous to the point where they're like, I want to see the world. Like, but at the same time, these same people have a very warped type of mentality, and they have a very tunnel vision type of way of looking at things. And that's why I feel like it's so important for people to travel and be able to have a wide variety of options of being able to see the world in different levels, different planes, different time zones, different surroundings, because it makes you more versatile in your mind, and it gets you to really understand things better, whereas you don't have this warped tunnel vision mentality where you're just like, oh, if it's not my way, then it's got to be wrong. No, dear, because there's many different possible answers that could still be correct. If you ever went to school, then you should know, like, even in math, like, you can have one problem that has one solution, the same solution, but you can literally do that problem probably 50 different ways and still come out with the same solution. So, same thing with life. You can, do things different ways. You can have different beliefs. You can have different lifestyles. You can have different everything, but you still recognize that, okay, all the energy and the vibes of the universe is still the same, no matter how different the circumstances, the people, the situation, or whatever it is. So, I've gotten to the point where I said, you know what? Instead of being afraid of challenges, instead of being afraid of failure, instead of being afraid of what I can do, let me start to create the mentality where I welcome differences. I welcome things that I'm not used to. I welcome things that sometimes may make me a little uncomfortable, because when you welcome things like that, and you start to really learn how to think outside of the box. You start to really learn how to realize, oh, it's not all about me, for real. It really isn't, because at the end of the day, I live in a world full of billions of people. So what world I feel like only revolves around me also revolves around billions of others, and I have to take into effect and take note of that, and realize that, okay, so not only does what other people do affect me, but wait a minute, what I do affects others as well. So therefore, since I've come to that realization, then I say to myself, okay, let me welcome the problematic struggles and situations and issues so that I can figure out how I can in turn learn from them, mature, and create a lifestyle for myself that I may have never even knew that I was capable of creating, just because I've opened up these doors to my unknown self, where I'm able to actually see how I respond to certain situations that initially I probably would never know what to do. But now that I have welcomed issues, struggles, problems, instead of being afraid of them, now I have become more accustomed to realizing, okay, this is how this works. This is what I need to do when I'm in this particular situation. Okay, this might be uncomfortable, but that's okay. No problem. Because at the end of the day, uncomfortable situations tend to put you in areas where you're like, wait a minute, I'm actually kind of happy that I went through that uncomfortable situation, because it took me to the next level in my life. And now I see things a lot clearer. Because, all right, when I went to Vegas, if you guys are part of the Truth Tribe already, which if you're not, press that subscribe button so you can become a part of the Truth Tribe and be able to see all my videos as I upload them, and press that bell button, of course, as well. But if you are already a part of my Truth Tribe, then you already know about my Vegas trip. So when I went to Vegas, I was like stoked, because y'all know I'm at the moment, struggling entrepreneur, and I have two businesses as well as this YouTube page that I'm seriously working on and really getting up off the ground to the point where I can actually get paid a consistent flow of income and be able to use this predominantly as my you know, how I earn my keep, how I make a living. So taking a trip to Vegas was definitely like kind of hard to do, because I didn't really have the money for it. I'm gonna be honest. So, um, basically, where I'm getting at is I had some bad experiences leading up to taking this trip. And I could have let them bad experiences make me think that, okay, maybe I'm not meant to take it. Maybe I'm supposed to just not go. You know what I'm saying? But instead, I looked at that as, no, this is just um, a bridge to cross over. This is just a stream of water to swim through to get to my goal. This is not a deterrence to say, okay, now you can't do it. So I use that as an example because I had such an amazing time when I went to Vegas. Actually, I would like to go again. But I had such a good time. But I was, y'all, first of all, I had struggles and complications trying to get there. And then I was scared because I had never been on the plane before I went. So I was like terrified because I'm like, oh Lord, I never been on a plane before. What's gonna happen? Whatever, whatever, whatever. And to my surprise, when I actually got on the plane, yes, I was nervous at first and kind of scared still at first. Jitters, like, is it called jitters? Or like, you know, when you're shaking or whatever and like a little nervous. But I can honestly say by the time we were almost at our location, almost to Vegas, I wasn't scared anymore. Like, I felt pretty like happy and relieved that I did it, like that I finally went on ahead. And guess this will be a two-part. I'll be back, guys.